Hello everyone, I'm Santiago, and today I'm gonna be testing Final Fantasy XII on the GeForce GTX 1060 3GB. For performance monitoring, I'll be using CAM. If you want to download the software, there's a link down in the description. And if you want to support me, there are Humble and Amazon affiliate links down in the description as well. So Final Fantasy XII, I'll be doing 1080p, 1440p and 4K. To skip to any of those sections of the video, check the description below. So well, first of all, I'll show you 1080p using 4x MSIA plus the maximum settings. I'm not using 8x MSIA because I didn't see much of a difference. 4x MSIA in my opinion is more than enough already. And well, the game is 60 frames per second pretty much all the time. Then I switched to 1440p and I'm using once again the maximum settings except in MSIA, which is turned off. And that was enough to be at 60 frames per second all the time as well. And finally at 4K, first of all I overclocked the GTX 1060 and I lowered everything to the minimum except in shadows, which I kept on medium because it didn't make much of a difference in performance at all. And well, we overall stay between 48 and 60 frames per second. It's not too bad, but the game looks a little worse. And then again at 4K I just crank up the settings and you'll see that I stay over 30 frames per second just fine. So personally I will play just at 1440p or 1080p. The game is smoother, plus you can use higher settings, but you'll still have the option to play at 4K if you don't mind lowering the settings. You'll notice that the CPU usage is quite low. We only have 2 cores, 4 threads, so I wouldn't worry too much about CPU. That's why I'm just using the i3. Remember, the G4560 will run the same as this, so nothing to worry about here. So I'm actually surprised that this game has an in-game options menu. Usually Final Fantasy games on PC have a launcher that only has a few options here and there. We can choose resolution, VSync, the frame rate limit. We only have 30 or 60, so the game is capped at 60 frames per second. You're gonna go over that frame rate. We also have shadows, so you can choose the resolution of the shadows, characters of shadowing, which is that shadows cast over characters. Then you have MSAA if you want to use it, 2x, 4x or 8x, and you can combine that with post-process anti-aliasing. You can use SMAA 1x or FXAA. And this game also has ambient occlusion, so you can select half resolution or full resolution or just turn it off. Then depth of field, glare and soft particles. But if you're just trying to get better frame rates by lowering stuff, shadows, characters of shadowing and ambient occlusion should be your first things to lower. The other ones don't make a huge difference overall, but usually the biggest performance hit is when you're just fighting with many enemies at once or do a quickening or something like that. But that's usually not a big problem because there is little inputs to be done compared, for example, to a first-person shooter where you're just aiming very precisely with your mouse. So at the beginning I'll show you just running around the city. That's where I got the biggest performance hit at the very start of the game. Then I'll just head outside, hit a couple enemies and go back. So you'll see more or less that the city is the biggest performance hit in this video. I think of it as important because you are moving around the city quite often. But remember, this is a remaster from a PS2 game. I'm still quite surprised that a PS2 game can look this good, even so many years after its release. Of course, it has a lot of graphical improvements, but still, I think it's quite impressive. But yeah guys, that's pretty much it. I hope you keep enjoying the video. Thanks for watching and see you next time.
Yeah. Yeah! Ha! Yeah! Ha! Yeah! Ha!
Stand back.